One day is enough. Introduction. Many people believe that complicated work always needs a long time. When a task looks difficult, the first thought that comes to the mind is, this will take many days. Because of this belief, people delay starting. They plan too much, think too much, and wait for the perfect moment. Slowly, the work becomes heavier in the mind than it actually is. Fear grows, pressure increases, and confidence reduces. In reality, most complicated work does not need many days. It needs clarity, courage, and full focus. One day is often enough. The idea that one day is enough does not mean rushing or doing careless work. It means using time with seriousness. When the mind is fully committed, energy becomes sharp. Decisions become clear. Distractions lose their power. A person who gives one full day with honesty and discipline can complete work that has been pending for weeks or even months. The problem is not time. The problem is divided attention. Many tasks feel complicated because we break them in our mind in the wrong way. We imagine problems that do not yet exist. We think about possible failures, other people's opinions, and future pressure. This mental noise creates confusion. When confusion increases, action decreases. But when a person decides to focus only on what is needed today, the work becomes simple. One step leads to the next. Momentum builds. The mind stops running and starts working. One day of focused work is different from many days of half-hearted effort. When work is spread across many days without clear intention, progress remains slow. Each day begins again with hesitation. The mind needs time to reconnect with the task. Energy is wasted in restarting. But when one full day is dedicated to a single purpose, the mind stays in one direction. This continuity creates speed and quality. History and daily life both show that many important decisions and actions happen in a short time. A clear decision can change years of confusion. A single honest conversation can fix a long problem. One deep work session can produce results that casual effort cannot. Time is not the main factor. Intensity is. Another reason people believe work needs many days is because they underestimate themselves. Lack of self-trust makes people move slowly. They doubt their ability to handle pressure. But when a person trusts their capacity and commits fully, hidden strength appears. Focus sharpens skills. Fear reduces. Confidence grows with every small completion. The statement "one day is enough" is a reminder to stop delaying life. It is a call to act instead of waiting. Waiting does not make work easier. It only makes the mind heavier. Starting brings clarity. Action brings confidence. Completion brings peace. This mindset teaches responsibility. When you accept that one day is enough, excuses disappear. You stop blaming time, conditions, or people. You take ownership of your work. This ownership creates discipline. Discipline creates results. One day is not just 24 hours. It is a decision. It is the moment when thinking ends and doing begins. It is the moment when fear loses control. When effort becomes honest, even complicated work bows down. This is why one day is often enough. Lesson 1. Overthinking makes work complicated. Work becomes complicated not because it is difficult, but because we think too much about it. Overthinking creates problems before they actually appear. The mind starts asking many unnecessary questions. What if I fail? What if it takes longer? What if I am not good enough? These questions do not help the work. They only create fear. When overthinking increases, action reduces. A person may spend days planning, but no real progress happens. Planning has value, but only up to a limit. Beyond that limit, planning becomes an excuse to avoid action. The mind feels busy, but the work remains untouched. Complicated thoughts make simple tasks feel heavy. A task that can be completed in a few hours starts feeling like a mountain. This happens because the mind mixes the present work with future pressure. Instead of focusing on the current step, it imagines the entire journey at once. This mental load creates stress. The solution is simple focus. When you decide to work for one day only, the mind relaxes. It no longer needs to solve everything at once. It needs to focus only on today's responsibility. This reduces fear and increases clarity. Overthinking also reduces confidence. The more you think, the more you doubt yourself. Action does the opposite. Action builds confidence. Each small step proves that you are capable. This proof is stronger than any thought. By limiting the time to one day, you force the mind to stop unnecessary thinking. There is no space for doubt. There is only space for effort. This is how complicated work becomes manageable. Lesson 2. Focus is more powerful than time. Many people believe that success depends on how much time they have. In reality, success depends on how well they use that time. Focus decides the result, not hours or days. One focused day is more powerful than many distracted days. When focus is weak, time is wasted. Distractions break the flow of work. The mind keeps shifting between tasks. This switching reduces efficiency and increases tiredness. At the end of the day, time is gone but work remains. When focus is strong, time expands. Work moves faster. Decisions become clear. The mind stays calm. Even difficult tasks feel lighter. This is the power of deep focus. Choosing one day for a task creates urgency. Urgency sharpens focus. There is no room for delay. The mind understands that the work must be done now. This pressure is healthy when controlled. Focus also improves quality. When attention is complete, mistakes reduce. Understanding improves. Learning becomes faster. The result is not only quick but also strong. Time without focus is empty. Focus without extra time is powerful. This is why one focused day can complete work that seems impossible. Lesson 3. Discipline compresses effort. Discipline is the ability to do what is necessary without emotional excuses. When discipline is present, work moves faster. Discipline compresses effort into results. Without discipline, work spreads. A task planned for one day stretches into many days. Breaks become longer. Motivation rises and falls. Progress remains slow. With discipline, boundaries are clear. Time is respected. Energy is directed. The mind follows a structure. This structure reduces decision fatigue and saves energy. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. When you respect your time, you use it wisely. One disciplined day can produce more than many lazy days. Discipline also builds trust in yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, confidence grows. This confidence makes future tasks easier. Lesson 4. Starting removes fear. Fear lives in delay. The longer you wait, the stronger fear becomes. The mind imagines worst-case situations. Confidence drops. Starting breaks fear. Action brings reality. Reality is often simpler than imagination. Once you begin, the mind shifts from fear to problem-solving. One-day commitment forces a start. There is no option to escape. This removes mental resistance. As work progresses, fear reduces naturally. Progress creates momentum. Momentum creates courage. Fear cannot survive consistent action. This is why starting is the most important step. Lesson 5. Completion brings mental freedom. Unfinished work creates mental pressure. The mind keeps returning to it. Energy is drained. Completion brings relief. It frees mental space. Peace replaces stress. One-day completion ends long-term tension. It gives a sense of control. Completion also builds belief. You trust yourself more. Future tasks feel lighter. Mental freedom is a reward of focused effort. This freedom is worth one day of discipline. Lesson 6. Clarity comes from doing, not thinking. Clarity is something most people wait for before starting work. They believe they must fully understand everything before taking action. This belief keeps them stuck. In reality, clarity does not come from thinking, it comes from doing. When you start working, confusion slowly disappears. Each action answers one question. Each step shows the next direction. When you sit and think for too long, the mind creates imaginary problems. These problems feel real, but they are not. They only exist because no action has been taken yet. Once action begins, reality replaces imagination. Real problems are often smaller and easier than imagined ones. One-day commitment forces action. There is no space to wait for perfect clarity. You begin with what you know. As you move forward, understanding improves. This natural learning process saves time and energy. Many successful people did not start with full clarity. They started with intention. Clarity followed effort. This is an important lesson. Waiting for clarity delays progress, but action creates clarity. One focused day is enough to remove mental fog. When hands move, the mind becomes clear. This is how complicated work becomes simple. Lesson 7. Energy increases when direction is fixed. Energy is not always physical. Most of the time, it is mental. When the mind is confused, energy feels low. When direction is clear, energy rises naturally. This is why deciding to complete work in one day feels powerful. When direction is not fixed, the mind keeps switching. Should I do this now or later? Should I continue or stop? These questions waste energy. Decision-making becomes tiring. A one-day decision removes all options except action. The mind stops negotiating. Energy that was wasted on thinking is now used for working. This creates a strong flow. Clear direction also reduces emotional ups and downs. You are no longer dependent on mood. You work because the decision is already made. This stability increases endurance. Energy follows commitment. When you commit fully to one day, the body and mind align. This alignment creates strength that surprises you. Lesson 8. One day builds a strong identity. Every action you take shapes how you see yourself. When you delay work, you slowly build an identity of avoidance. When you complete work, you build an identity of responsibility. Completing difficult work in one day sends a strong message to your mind: I can handle pressure. This belief changes future behavior. Confidence becomes natural. Identity is not built by words but by actions. One disciplined day is stronger than many motivational thoughts. It becomes proof of capability. Once you experience the power of one focused day, your standards change. You stop accepting excuses. You trust yourself more. This identity shift is long-lasting. One day does not just complete work, it reshapes who you believe you are. Conclusion. One day is enough when focus is clear, discipline is strong, and action replaces delay. Thinking prepares the ground, but doing builds the result. When you commit fully, complicated work loses its power. One honest day can change weeks of struggle into clarity, confidence, and completion.